What's up, everybody? Chef Z checking in with another food vid. Hope everybody's alright out there. Today I'm going to make some clam chowder. I know it's summertime, whatever, but if anybody's watched any of my vids, I went to the Whole Foods in Nashville, got some fresh clams, did a dish with them, and then I had a bunch left over because they were a 50 count. So what I did, I went ahead and steamed them, saved the juices, and going to make some clam chowder. As being a chef, I love like soups, chowders, any kind of one dish meal, because it's something you can eat on for a couple of days, especially if you're on the grind, got a lot of stuff to do, busy, get home, don't feel like cooking anything, it holds up, you know what I mean? Anyway, so what I got here, this is this was some salt pork, like a big chunk of bacon, pretty much, that's been not smoked or cured. You could get a block of it for like $2 or $3. It's the traditional way they did chowder. What I did is I put it in a pan, rendered it down, meaning I had it on low temp, let the fat render down. Should have got a shot of that, but I'm trying to speed up my vids. Hopefully that'll help people watching. If not, oh well. There's some of the fat that I saved, because I'm going to do some of that and butter to start out sauteing my vegetables. This stuff is super salty, so I'll basically use it as garnish. I'm not going to put it in, you know, that way if somebody wants a little bit of a sprinkle on top, man, it pairs well. If not, I'll use it for another dish. So I got what they call a mirepoix in French cooking. It's basically onion, celery, and carrot. I know traditionally they don't use carrot in like New England clam chowder, whatever, but I don't really care. This is the way I'm doing it. So some people do it that way. I had carrot and didn't want it to go to waste, so why not add a little color, more flavor to my dish. Of course, I got some clams. Got those straining. Any more juices that come out, got most of the juice out. Potatoes, I left the skin on. I just like the color factor, plus it'll hold them together a little bit. A little bit of Chardonnay and clam juice, because obviously I didn't get enough, you know, to make it. And a little bit of flour. That's going to be, we're going to make a roux, and I'll show you what that is. It's a thickening agent to thicken up soups. A little bit of garlic. My herb preference is some fresh parsley at the end, but I'm going to throw in some dried tarragon. You can use thyme or whatever, or no herb at all. I had tarragon. I like that licorice flavor. It goes good. So what I'm going to start doing right now, I got my pan on. Put some of that oil in. That was from the salted pork. Pretty much, like I said, a big chunk of bacon that's diced up instead. Now we got a temperature going right there. You can see the smoke rolling up. So I'm going to go ahead and add some onion in that. And I don't really want color, because, you know, it's a cream, which I'll pull out. I got in the fridge. I don't want no color on these vegetables. I'm just pretty much sweating them to get the flavor out. A lot of celery. Celery is really good. In a lot of soup dishes I use it. I just love the earthiness flavor that it has. And like I said, usually they don't use carrot, but I'm making it, so that's just the way it is. I'm gonna let this cook down. Ooh, actually I'm gonna go out to my garden and grab a couple of fresh bay leaves. I got a fresh bay leaf tree out there, along with a bunch of other fresh herbs. That was a gift to me. But I'm gonna let these cook down. Nice color right there, huh? Let those cook down. I'm not gonna add any salt whatsoever. Maybe some cracked pepper, because the clam's salty. Clam juice is salty, and the fat that I rendered down from the salt pork chunk is very salty. So at the end I'll adjust salt if I have to. So I'm going to let that render down. Actually I'm going to go ahead and add this butter. Because what I'm trying to do is get enough fat in there that's going to render down. Like I got butter, but like I said, I also added that pork fat, which is going to give it some great flavor. And it's key to any good chowder. But once it's rendered down, those vegetables break down some, then I'll add flour, which is going to make a roux with the vegetables. Some people would make the roux on the side with their fat and the flour, but why dirty up another pan when you can do it all in one pan? It's going to turn out just as fine. So I'll check back in, and we're going to pull out a couple of bay leaves from my tree, and I'll check back in a minute on my clam chowder dish. Smelling good already. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. I don't know, I'd say 5 to 7. I went out and picked some bay leaves. Got 3 of them in there. I cracked them. They're not dry, these are fresh. So I cracked them. Helps let the oils out and stuff. Anyway, just felt like adding some of those. So, like I said, 5 to 7 minutes sauteing in that butter. And a little bit of that pork fat for the clam chowder. I add a little bit of pepper, no salt, like I said, everything's salty. I can adjust that later. One rule of cooking, man, is what I tell people, you can always add, you can't take out. So just keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. And I added the garlic. So, as you can see, plenty of fat in there. So, what I'm going to do now is take some of that flour. Right here, and then this is where we start building a roux. We're going to do a blonde roux, meaning I just turned down my heat some. We don't want this is just going to thicken it. And usually a basic rule of thumb with the roux, it's 50% flour to 50% fat. Most people butter, you know, you can use olive oil, but as long as it's some kind of fat, and like I said, it's just a thickening agent used to thicken soups, stews, sauces, you know what I mean? So, or, you know, if you want your soup thick, you know, most soups are thin, but chowders, sauces for steaks, chicken, anything like that. That's what it's gumbo. And another little tip, gumbo, the basics for gumbo, you know, we just did what I call the mirepoix, which is French for carrot. It's usually 50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery. In the Louisiana land, or you know what I'm saying, Cajun cooking, they call it the Holy Trinity, and they substitute the carrot for green bell pepper. So, just a little tidbit of info right there. Like I said, as soon as I get a tripod, this will be way better. Anyway, so I got flour in there. And I don't want it, like I said, it was 50%, so you can already tell that it's soaked up all of the fat. And like I say, some people do it on the side, but why? It's all gonna... If you got everything ready, man, you're good to go. And we're, like I said, we're going to cook this out a little bit. It's called, like I said, a blonde roux, meaning it's not going to get dark. If you was to make a gumbo, you let it cook the roux down, and I usually do that separate, you know, 50% butter, oil, and flour, and keep an eye on it and cook and stir and cook, and eventually that flour becomes nuttier and starts to brown up at the bottom a little bit. You don't want it to burn, but then it'll start changing from a caramel color, peanut butter, but that's another video. Just letting you know basic of it. Blonde roux is, we're not going to have any color to it. But I am going to saute this flour a little bit just to get that rawness out. Because that, you know, you don't want anything to... You could ruin your whole soup if you don't cook out the flour or stew or whatever, or sauce for that matter, if you don't cook that flour out, because it just gives it that, I don't know, bland, nasty taste. You know, you could cook the piss out of it, I guess, after, but it's going to take a lot longer, you know, but this shortens up the process if you go ahead and do it now and just let that flour cook out a little bit. Anyway, so I think I got enough in there. You know, potatoes are going to help thicken it up some too. And you know, worst case scenario, man, and I've been in binds before in the restaurant business, you can always turn to cornstarch. If it comes out too thin, I'd rather it come out too thin and way too thick, because then you're just going to add more liquid and dilute it. You can always add a little cornstarch or make a quick roux on the side and add that roux in. If it gets super thick, then like I say, you're going to just add more stock or liquid. Then you're basically just, you know, killing the base of your whole product, in my opinion. But you know, that's me. You know, you can always, you know, thin it out with wine or whatever to give it some flavor. So to each his own. But anyway, I'm cooking out this flour. Let it cook out a few more minutes and I'll be right back. Hey, we're back. I got a camera person. Finally got some help on my clam chowder. Anyway, come on over here, camera woman. So, anyway, I'm cooking the flour out. Now that I got two hands, I can actually get in here and I'm going to scrape some of that flour up. So as you can see, it's all clumped together. It's breaking down. Vegetables are good and sauteed. The flour is breaking down is what I was trying to say, which is good. No color. That's what we want. It's a clam chowder. So I'm going to grab some white wine. This is about a cup or so. Boom. Add that in. Now this is going to help pull all, as you heard it sizzle. Now I'm going to pull all of that flour from the bottom. So you can see, look, it's already thickening up. Awesome. This is what we want. When you want to scrape the bottom of your pan, that's where the flavor's at. That's from the vegetables, flour, all that stuff. And you want a good clean, look, now it's nice and clean. This is why I do it all in one pot, so it's thickened up. So this is when we come over here. I got, look, clam juice. Boom. We're going to add that in. And like I told you earlier, it's not enough because that was from the fresh clams that I shucked myself and steamed. Saved all the juices and liquid when I did that. So we got that in there. I'm going to grab a couple of bottles of the clam juice right here. Already shown them that. So one more. It's about 3 of them. Boom. So now we got basically a nice stock for our chowder. And as this comes up to a boil, it's going to thicken some. So to develop flavor, I'm going to cover this up a little bit, leave a little crack. I'm going to let it, I got it about on medium, low heat. Let it come up to temp, because only the roux won't thicken to its complete consistency until it's brought up to a boil. After it's brought up to a boil, you'll know how thick that your sauce, soup, stew, whatever it's going to be. Then I'm going to add the potatoes. I'm going to strain them. And then very last is going to be the clams. After it thickens, I'm going to add the tarragon. And I'm going to chop this parsley up in the meantime. And we'll be back. And like I said, I'll finish with some cream. I got some half and half just to be safe, but I think I got enough cream. I didn't feel like going back to the store. Chef Z, I'll be back in a few more minutes. We'll check back in, show you how this chowder is going to finish up. And yeah, I'm a southern boy. I'm doing chowder down here in Kentucky. That's how I roll. I can cook pretty much anything. So hit me up, subscribe if you like what I do, whatever. If you don't, subscribe anyway. You know what I'm saying? Alright, we'll holler at you. I'll be back in a few more minutes, finish up this chowder. And I'll give a few shout outs to my people out there. Alright, so we're back with clam chowda. All right, here we go. Ready? Yep, it's at a rapid boil. So, added the potatoes in, cooking out the rest of that roux, which is the flour, you know, thickening agent I was explaining to you guys about, letting it reduce some, letting these potatoes get tender. They're just about there. Added tarragon, that's what the little green stuff floating around right here. Here, look, ready? Some tarragon leaves. I got fresh out in there, but I use dried. I'm going to use fresh parsley to garnish. It gives a little bit of a licorice flavor, a little sweeter note, if you will, maybe, because clam's got a little sweetness to it. A lot of people use thyme or something. I just decided to use tarragon because I seen it up there and I was like, hey, why not? Same as with the carrots. Usually carrots are not in the clam chowder, but it's my dish. I'm making it my way. Anyway, so I got heavy cream. I'm going to finish it with heavy cream. This is going to give it that, obviously, creaminess and give it that smoothness. It's going to, look at that. And then now it's starting to look like a chowder, huh? Oh yeah, that's the way it is. Now I'm going to let this reduce some more. Not too much longer. Let those potatoes break down a little bit. They're going to hold together, but I want some of that starch still to come out. Not too much starch is going to come out because they are the red potatoes. I didn't use like Idaho's or nothing, or Yukons, but I just like the color and it's starting to look good. Like I say, worst case scenario, if it's not as thick as you want it, you can always do what they call a slurry, which is half cornstarch, half cold water. Add a little bit in at a time. See how thick you want it. If not, you can get a separate pan, melt some butter down, add some flour to it, make another roux. Add a little bit at a time, but you know, as this cooks down, and I'm gonna let it sit overnight because I'm not gonna eat it tonight. I'm just cooking it today because I didn't want those clams that I bought to go bad. Now, as a garnish, I'm gonna add the clams here in a minute, but always soup, oyster crackers is a garnish. And then if my camera person get a shot up here, pick your hot sauce, because I love hot sauce with my clam chowder. So any kind of hot sauce I do, but I got a variety. I take pride in my hot sauces because I love a little bit of dab of this on my any kind of food I eat. So I'm gonna let this reduce a little bit. It's going to come up to temp. As you can see, it's already starting to bubble some. Once it comes up to temp and reduces down a little bit, I'm going to actually shut it off, then add the clams and finish with the parsley, and I'll probably give you one more shot of that. I'm going to let this go for another maybe 7 minutes or so just to finish up those potatoes. One more shot. Probably, like I said, a few more minutes, but if you, oh, we got storms coming here. Uh-oh. Anyway, if you got seed on top here, just in case somebody was want to ask what that is, that's actually the butter from the roux, and once it reduces down, thickens up, but you know, you always stir it up. That's on any good chowder or anything like that. Like I said, it's not completely up to temp. Once it is up to temp, I'll let it go away. It'll be all nice one consistency. So I'll be back in a few more minutes and we'll go from there. We got some storms coming, I think, so I'll be out. Love, peace, chicken grease. We'll holler at you in a minute. Alright, my camera person 86'd me, left me, got rid of me. So there's the chowda. Chowda! Love it. Reason why I'm making a big batch, like I said, just a big batch, just to make get rid of vegetables I had in there, and use those clams up. know it's summertime, but I love a good soup and sandwich, so I can pair this with a bunch of different sandwiches, and I'll freeze some of it, but it's going to get ate before then. It was thinner in the last shot. Now, remember I told you if you didn't like the texture of it, you can always thicken it with cornstarch or have a separate pan or whatever with some butter and flour. Because look at the texture I got now. I mean, it's perfect. See how it coats the spoon? You see that? I gave the stock a taste. I'm going to give it one more. See what's going on. Oh, money. Like buttery, creamy. A little bit of salt flavor, not too much yet because I haven't added the clams, so it's going to give it some more brininess. I added black pepper, but like I said before, I got a whole wall of hot sauces if people like it hot, blah blah blah. You can always do that. If you don't, the crackers, you can serve it with bread. Basic clam chowder. The tarragon, if nobody's ever used that before, it's good. And you know what I'm saying? So first time me adding tarragon to it, usually it was thyme or whatever. I just decided to flip the script, twist something up a little bit different, and this is what I came up with. Carrot, little sweetness there. I know you're not supposed to. Anyway, back to the thickening thing. Mine was thinner than I thought, or that I wanted, not that I thought. So what I did, check this out. So I microwaved butter, added flour, okay, half and half ratio, the roux right here, whisk that all together with a fork, then put it back in 30 seconds, whisk it some more, 30 more seconds to cook out some of that flour, and then boom, an instant roux. In the kitchen as a chef, man, we got roux all the time, just pans of this, or not pans, but one pan or whatever, or two. In certain, they call it ninth pans. Anyway, it's restaurant talk, sorry. But you can keep this around. You see what I'm saying? And to thicken up stuff, like I said, as a chef, I always got some, but I was out and I thought mine would be thick enough as is. I wanted it thicker. So what I did is brought this back up to a boil, as you've seen before. Then I added a couple tablespoons and just whisked. And kept whisking, and it broke it all up. And I added till I got to the right consistency. It got, you know, it stayed at a boil the whole time as I'm whisking, because I had it on medium-high heat, but I'm whisking that way nothing settles to the bottom, burns, and boom. Now I'm at my right consistency. It's beautiful. That little layer on top's gone, like I told you. That's because the roux took care of that, meaning the flour sucked all that in, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, basic clam chowder right here. Only thing missing, haha, clams. Like I said before, them are a last minute thing, because they're already cooked. I already steamed them. Don't want them to overcook because they get rubbery. So basically, now, oh look, they're even thickening it up a little more. This is like, wish I had my camera person here. We gotta buy me a damn tripod. Some better shots. Oh shit. Anyway, so got that in there. Good to go. I mean, I got good consistency. Nice thick chowder, not shy on the clams. And then that's going to bring some brininess once those heat back up. A little bit of salt and brininess to it. Beautiful. Like I said, I didn't add salt. Not yet. I'll taste it. Add it again. I think I might have added a pinch. But you can always add, you can never take out, like I said earlier. So I still got those. That's the salt pork. Like I said, I sauteed up, or not sauteed, rendered down the fat to get technical, blah blah, all that chef shit. Which means you just let it go low and slow till the fat renders down, and you get these chunks right here, the pork. Super salty though. You can use bacon this was just a traditional thing, and it was way cheaper than bacon. I just wanted the flavor for my roux, you know what I'm saying? And then you can sprinkle a few of those on top. Every once in a while you get a salty nugget when you have a bowl. It's whatever. Bacon is pretty high, and I live in Kentucky. And, you know, it's about $5-6 a damn pound right now, whatever, man. So that's for bacon. This salt pork I got broke down, rendered down, which is the same thing as bacon. It just hasn't been smoked. It was like $2, but I'm not trying to be a bum, but this is the traditional way chowder. They render down and get the fat from the salt pork. So there you go, nice color right there. Anyway, beautiful dish. I'm gonna shut off the heat, let that chill out, and let it marry the flavors overnight. I'll have a bowl tomorrow night. Might try a little bowl tonight, but I just want to get it cooked and chilled out. Way I didn't lose any of my product that I got in my refrigerator. So, Chef Z signing out, man. Hope everybody likes the vid. Let me know. Rate, subscribe if you want to see something.